It's funny that we're on different wavelengths with baseball.
Let it out.
Because the other day you said I was so down in the dumps, and you had it right. You kind of guessed what was going to happen correctly. And now I'm not fazed by this hiccup right now at all, and it seems like you are. Because the hiccup, if anyone hasn't been following, is that the player said when and where. The owner said, okay, well, they were like, when, where, how? Tell us. And he's like, all right, well, here's the when, July 19th. Here's the where, everywhere, and here's the how. You waive your grievance, and we up the pay a little bit more in your favor.
Right.
And part of the strategy there was that Manfred told their side, we agreed in principle. We have to get it in writing, but, there was it's in hand. Which then they go spread to the media.
Right.
And then now the players have to be like, no, wait, we didn't agree to that yet.
Which I think that's because you and I both had a moment this morning where we're like, the gamesmanship of the negotiations is a little fun.
It's interesting.
The players we really liked, that was a strong tell us when and where.
It was great.
Because the owners have been dragging their feet the whole time.
They cornered the owners, but now the owners kind of cornered them back.
The counterpunch by Manfred of giving the offer is good. The shady part that's fucking terrible is leaking it to the media when there's no deal.
Because
that's
because you make the players say
that's fourth grade at recess.
Yeah.
Saying he said this, they said that, that's pathetic.
The people that aren't in the weeds of the negotiations that saw the when and where and now see the players saying no, we don't agree to that. It looks really bad for the players. Because they're like, I thought you said when and where, and you said fuck it, just play.
And now you're offered full pay. Isn't that what you wanted?
Yeah, but the nuance is that the MLB wants them to waive that they can file a lawsuit or file a grievance. They want them to waive it, which then kind of now, and it maybe the stall tactic's working by MLB because now the debate is on, okay, well, if you want us to waive, like they're back to negotiating because if you want us to waive the agreement, we said when and where with no waiving of the agreement.
Right.
That was like the subtext. Now that we're waiving the agreement, it's not really when and where anymore now. But I think we're fine. I think that the players will, maybe I'm being naive now. I think they'll do the 70 and we'll land at 65, waive the agreement. Because that gets them to 40%.
Yeah, I don't know. That hasn't actually been laid out by the owners. In theory, their offers really haven't changed. We're still at 60 games. We haven't seen anything money-wise over 60 games from them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think this was Manfred's ace in the hole. I really do think this was the last card up his sleeve with the time to play and everything going on, and it was a great card. I don't know. I think there's some principle by the players where they could say, screw it, and they could go back on it now and say, hey, if you want to hit that 48-game button, fine. We'll just do that instead. We'd rather just go down with the ship ourselves. I am yet to see the negotiation in any of this that has been a meet in the middle. And that's what everyone's just assuming is going to happen.
But the owners came up from the 33% to 37%. They can get them to 40%. I think we're there.
Yeah, I just don't think they are. And I don't know. I think this is where president and principal is really going to come into play. And the fact that I think the players are going to lean into playing the most games possible. And it was funny. I told you I got into the weeds this morning with some people. And it's, we circled on billionaires, millionaires, and thousandaires, which is 65% of the players. And then where else did we land? They're like, oh, well, we're running out of time. And I was like, well, why do you think we're running out of time? Like, that was the owner's biggest strategy. Why do you think this is the first time these two people have met face to face to iron it out? So, and then someone, I said something along the lines of like, the guy was like, yeah, why don't they just play the 70 games? And I was like, they were waiting for the offer. Like, that's never happened. So yeah, man, it was a great card to play by Manfred, and I'm interested to see where the players go with it because they know if they kind of stand on their principle right now and say no, there was no deal, that for whatever reason, because MLB got in front of it media-wise, even though it was lies, they're going to look bad because no deal was ever agreed. Yet it was spread throughout the baseball community that a deal was agreed to.
Yeah.
So I think, and then when that happens and the people turn on the players are going to start tweeting, and that's not going to be good. They're not going to be a unified voice again. I think we've just scratched the ugly iceberg again.
All right. Yeah, I lean that. I think we're in the most good faith we've been.
Imagine if you're Tony Clark. You think he's saying that sentence?
With the offers. Not the.
They were just face to face, not having a deal, and then the other guy in the room told the media in the world that they had a deal. That's not good faith. That's the opposite. That might be the least
but the
good
offer,
faith move.
The offer
so
isn't good. The offer is they moved up their offer.
The offer was partially in good faith. I think they were tying it to the lie that they were going to tell the people. So no, I don't think it was in great faith.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the players, you weren't screaming that what the players did was in bad faith, and what the players did was push them into a corner, and everyone was just pushing back. So I don't think I'm fine with the gamesmanship. Both sides.
The only time I've said the players haven't been in good faith was their initial offers of the games to stretch out, which I do believe in.
Well,
they never
saying when
that.
and where, knowing that they're going to file a grievance is kind of the same thing as offering this, knowing you're going to spread it.
Right, but if the players are going to file a grievance, it's because something's been damaged to them. If the players are filing a grievance, that's because the owners have been in bad faith. That's not on the players.
I know. The gamesmanship I don't care about. I just think I think that they're that stuff sucks, but if the players just make a counter now, hopefully they make a counter that's right around what this is. Hopefully they ask for 70 games, and then hopefully it comes to.
I would hope they do, but I don't see that happening. We haven't seen that happen yet, No,
but I didn't think the owners were going to come back from this and actually raise it, and they did. So
they kind of haven't. That's what I was telling you before when the owners' offer last time, when everything was added with playoff money and the players laid it out there, was 60 million. Or 60 games, excuse me. So if they came anything under 60 games, that would have been complete bad faith. So they had to come in at 60 games.
It was different.
Just the way the money was shuffled.
Well, but it's guaranteed now. The playoffs weren't guaranteed before.
Isn't it now playoffs would be on top of the 60 guaranteed?
Yeah,
right.
But they did come closer.
It's that game amount. If the owner's offer came anything below 50, it would have, or below 60, it would have been grievance instantly.
I agree. So I'm saying the owner stepped to the plate and upped their offer.
No, 60 was the minimum. If it was 59, it would have been a grievance, and the owners would have been fucked.
But they jumped from 33% to 37%.
It's someone laid it out. I can send you the article later. But
the
had all the
playoffs wasn't
numbers there, and it
guaranteed
would have been
before.
in complete bad faith. So I think that was a horrible step. I'm very hopeful that the players come back and say 65, 70, 72, but we just haven't seen that in these negotiations at all.
I think they were aiming for 40%, and they jumped up from 33 to 37. So I think I'm not. There's no hiccup here, but I was already accepting death, so I'm like whatever happens, fine.
And I'm still I'm not saying no baseball. I think the 48 button is just a lot more back in play. I think the players are going to say, fuck you.
Okay. Interesting.
Why bother? If you guys want to make a joke out of it, we don't need games. Take that to next CBA. Why do we play 162? Why don't we play 120? I think this was a twist of the knife.